Hi everyone, my name is Amos Mboro. I'm your host for this show, Let's Talk Politics. In the studio today, I'm happy to have Peter John and also Elizabeth. Karibuni sana. Let's start with Elizabeth. Say hi and tell us about yourself.
Oh, yes, my name is Elizabeth Mubi. I'm from Ranga County. Currently, I'm at News Media for attachment, but I'm studying at Michuki National Polytechnic, pursuing diploma in journalism. Yes.
Wow, Peter?
Okay. I'm Peter John,
Yes.
a boy from Cumberland, that is from Kitui,
Okay.
pursuing journalism and mass communication. My second year.
Okay. Let's talk about the youth and leadership. When is it time for the youth to join the politics? Because on our country today, how things are moving on, we have seen a number of them join the politics. Are they just joining to preach the other guys or just joining to bring the change? Let's start with Esther. Maybe what's your take on that?
It's a little bit. Yes, I think this is the right time youth have to engage themselves in politics. And I think it was last week whereby the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, was advising the youth and telling them that they have to take part in politics because in the current situation we are seeing that politics in Kenyans, they are not good. So he was advising youths, especially in Kenya and in Africa at large, that they have to come in and participate in politics. So I think this is the right time and this is the right moment for them to come, give in to tell, to say their grievances, what they want, and to air out their problems.
Okay.
Yes.
And Peter, maybe Elizabeth has just said that the President Uhuru Kenyatta advised you to join the politics. There are two things: joining politics and being engaged in active politics.
Yeah.
What they are all? Do you think they bring the real change that is needed to move the country forward, or just joining to please the masses?
For me, President, I would agree with saying the words of former President, that is Uhuru Kenyatta, telling youth now is the right time to wake up and be engaged in politics. We know from the start youth should be there in the politics because we call it voter demographic, whereby they are active in terms of development. But now President telling youth that now it's your time now to wake up. When he was in the leadership for the last 10 years, he did never talk about youth to wake up and engage themselves in politics. Why right now, after now moving from power, he's telling youth now is the right time to wake up, start fighting for your rights?
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I will say youth should engage in active politics. Active. Because if you check at the population of Kenya, 70% of youth, 70% are youth.
Yes.
And youth range from 35 and below. But if you check at the statistics of IEBC, most of youth don't have any IDs.
Okay.
They don't vote.
And maybe, Elizabeth, what is the democratic space in youth Kenya? Do you think they will bring the real change in 2027?
Yes, I think if they start now, there is a big possibility that they will bring a lot of change, especially bearing in mind that now we are fighting unemployment rate in Kenya. So I think them getting into politics will really help to change the country, and they will be able to go into parliament, to go into senate, and air out what they are going through, so that this change can be made, and to avoid them being left outside politics in Kenya.
We have Morana Kevaso.
Yeah.
He has already declared interest for the presidency, 2017. 2027. Will you vote for him as a youth? Or are youths are the enemies for themselves? Will you vote for him? Youth might be talking about youth and presence and leadership. And Morana Kevaso has already declared interest. Given a chance, will you vote for him?
For me,
or would you vote for the new crop of politicians, the likes of Kalonzo, Ruto, Matiang'i, and others?
Amos, for me personally, I will tell you, I will not vote for Morana Kevaso. Generally, I'm a youth, but I won't support him. Because Morana has just become recent. And this influence has just grown because of social media. But if you tell me to vote for a person like Kalonzo, Mother Kalonzo, Matiang'i, these are the people experienced in the government. And we have seen their work when they were in the previous governments. For example, we have Matiang'i. He was Cabinet Secretary for Education. During this time, he did a great change in Kenya. He was an interior
in cabinet
secretary.
Yes.
He did a great change in the ministry.
Sure.
You check at the Karua, she was of human rights and advocacy. And she has been fighting for the rights of Kenyans.
Okay.
And we have now this person, Kalonzo Musyoka, who has been in the government, vice president in the time of Kibaki, and also he has been encouraging peace in the world, in the East Africa.
Okay.
He was peacemaker in South Sudan.
Okay.
And for me, you see, these people are experienced.
Okay.
Not like, Morala.
So you're trying to say that youths are not experienced? That's what you're trying to say? So can we say that, Elizabeth, can we say that an enemy for youth is a youth? But if you can't vote for yourself and you're calling out for the justice and democratic space for the youth to occupy, and you're saying you can't vote for a youth, do you think we're in order?
I think as much as we want to vote for our fellow youths, it is also important to note they need experience, like they need someone who can mwenye anaweza washika mkono, yes, to show them the way, because a little bit they don't have experience, because you cannot compare somebody like that person who is yes, and somebody like Matiang'i, Akina Madakalwa. You cannot compare them. You cannot compare both of them. So I think first of all, one of the things that they should do is to find someone who can hold their hand and show them the way before they start now diving into politics.
I think when you talk about the youth lack experience, when they have around this experience, you don't expose them to the real politics. Will it be just a chorus song to say that we need to be in active politics, and when it comes to the real opportunities on the table, you say they are not experienced? Are we doing justice to them, Peter?
Actually, I'm a big supporter of youths.
You are not, because you say that you can't support them. Why are you contradicting yourself?
Listen, I was making myself clear. I'm a supporter of youths, but when we go about choosing, it's where we divert with youth. But right now in the government, I'm in the system. The government is not doing justice for the youth. They should at least give us space to.
The space is there. Raila has already occupied the space and has introduced himself as one of the presidential candidates. Why don't you support him?
Yes.
And what other space are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about, Morala Kibaso. He has come recently by exposing the government's corruptions.
If that is the only opportunity you can use to get fame, remember, let me tell you, what did Obama use to gain fame?
Obama.
Okay.
I don't have much.
It's a talk for another day.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Elizabeth, you can talk about maybe, do you think it's the high time now we start seeing youths as the next liberators of the Kenyans, rather than seeing them that do not have experience? And what do you think the government should do to help them also?
No, I think we should not rely so much on government because as we cannot see, I don't think the government is supporting the youths. In especially the current government.
Okay.
So I think we should start exposing ourselves. So we should not wait to for someone to, like the government, to show us the way. We should start exposing ourselves to the people of Kenya so that we can also start gaining experience and so that you can be able to continue.
Okay.
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
Talking about a point, youth should start with the local administration.
Okay.
From the MCS. Let's get out the youths and start fighting for the seats, MCS, MPs, so that when we reach in the national level, we have experience.
Okay.
It's not about we need to change the leadership of country by becoming a president by one day. It's just the leadership starts from the ground. We should start by fighting for MCR. We gain that experience. We go to MP, we have that experience, we know how the system works. But if you tell me now, youth, we should have a presidential candidate, it's true. We can have a presidential candidate.
But you don't support them.
But.
So you are the enemy of your youths.
But.
Yes.
We can have a presidential candidate. But who is this presidential candidate who has not been in the government?
Elizabeth, what is that in you that you feel that should have for them to have the presidential material? Peter is advocating for the youth to be elected to have to serve from the MCA seat, MP seat, senator seat. Is it a mass that you climb through the radar for you to dine with the kings? Why don't you create that away for yourself and enjoy the fruits and liberate the country?
Yes, I will agree with Peter on what he's talking about.
Yes.
Yes, we need to start from scratch because, as I have said earlier, the current government is not supporting the youth, so we have to start for ourselves.
Yes.
Yes, we have to start. For example, someone has to start vying for MCA, MP. Yes, then we go up because for now, I don't even think we have a popular youth who is known in terms of politics. We are very down. So, and the government is not actually supporting that. So, I think the best thing is to start from scratch and then we climb the ladder. I don't think there is other way for that.
I think what I'm getting from you, we should embrace the old politics mentality. I think that's what you're advocating for. The old politics mentality whereby pesa kwa wazee na position kwa wazee, they are just voting machines. And I think what we are advocating for, cause like yesterday there's a two coalition in Kenya, and yesterday there was a coalition between Wamonyoro, that is former deputy president, there was Matiang'i, there was a Kalonzo. And I remember immediately they lined up their coalition. The current deputy president, Rigathi, just posted the contest has just begun. From your own understanding, was there a youth there, or what do you feel will happen? Is it just a contest just to remove Ruto from the presidency, or do you think they will bring the real change that we need in the country?
I'm actually happy to see that coalition. It is actually giving hope to many Kenyans. I actually support them because they have experience, they have everything that it takes to take Ruto back home. So I think or the only challenge or the only problem that we will be faced maybe before we reach the general election is actually the how they will choose the person who will actually take the flag or who will run for that presidential election. Bearing in mind that they are actually, I don't know, they are actually 5 or 6.
They are 5.
Yes, we have Kalonzo
Musyoka, yes.
We have
Justin
Mudavadi. Yes, there are so many.
Mudavadi,
Yes.
We have Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yes, there are so many.
There are several.
Yes, and they have, though they have different agendas, I think their aim or what they are actually aiming for, they have a common aim. What they are talking about is how they will satisfy Kenyans or how they will bring back Kenya to where it was before. So I think it is a good start to me, and we are really hoping that they will continue, and they will, at the end of the day, that they will give us a leader.
Yes.
You know, haitafika mahali tuanze kusikia huyu amekataa,
Sure.
because that will lead to division of votes.
Okay.
So if I was to be asked, they should continue being united for them to be successful.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your take on the coalition?
Well,
Do you feel their mission is just to liberate Kenyans or just to send Ruto home? Well, they must be clear. What are we fighting for?
for them,
Are they fighting to liberate Kenyans or to send Ruto home?
almost if you
Because if you listen to them, the mission was one: Ruto must go.
yeah.
So, are they fighting to liberate Kenyans and bring the freedom, economical freedoms and expression, or are they aiming to send Ruto home?
Almost if you are listening to them and another person from the word go, when the deputy president, the former, was impeached,
Yes.
he was talking about Ruto must go home.
So the issue is not about the liberation.
The issue is not about the liberation of economic.
You are
rights.
with him?
Because yeah, they launched yesterday. They were there. They had a very great coalition.
Yes.
Many leaders were there.
Yes.
But if you check the main agenda which they were talking about, they were not talking about any economic opportunities they will provide for the people.
Okay.
They were only talking about how the strategies how to take Ruto home. If you check, if they had, I will tell you this. You have talked about an enemy of a youth is a youth.
Sure.
But the person you called so that is Morala Kibasu.
Yes.
It should have been clear in that coalition. You remember a few months ago they had a meeting, that is Karua, Kalonzo, Kimbaso there, and a representative of Matiani.
Yes.
And we saw, at least here youths, we have a chance. Because if this will take the rule in 2027, youths we shall have a place. But the moment they finished their meeting, we saw Morala Kibaso addressing people later. I don't know if you got that clip. He was saying Kalonzo is project for government.
But that's an allegation. And you know, in politics we normally say in law, whoever alleges has to prove.
Has to prove.
Yes. So we can't just focus on that because we don't have a proof that you can't allege that it's a government project and yet you don't have a proof.
It should.
And you can't use past incidences to prove a current case.
Because he was saying he hits in status. And in the daytime, he's talking about opposite against Ruto. If you check at what Morala Kibaso was saying, it doesn't want good for the youth.
Peter,
I will definitely
yourself. I feel that you are contradicting yourself.
No, just
you
wait.
must understand.
Just wait.
Yes.
Because if we see Kalonzo
Yes.
and others are very keen of taking Ruto home,
Yes.
why should he talk opposite against them?
Okay.
He should have been quiet and stayed in that coalition which they think it is taking Ruto home.
Okay.
But these so-called leaders, opposition, they have taken advantage of the Gen Zs. Because they
But you said you can't vote for a youth. And you want a youth to be in a presidential level.
I've not said that, Amos.
Yes.
I've said they should have included him there so that he can see the matters of the government and the operations of the government being there. But if you check at these leaders, they have taken the advantage of the Gen Zs.
Okay.
Because Gen Zs in last year, July 2024,
yes.
we came out in large numbers. And we said the Ruto must go. And we showed we had the power to occupy everywhere. That is State House, everywhere.
Yes.
And these leaders saw, if we can turn these minds of Gen Zs against the government, we can take Ruto home. Their main agenda is taking Ruto and not the developments they are bringing to the people. Let's talk about, when we take the government, we shall build this factory for here. The coffee farmers, we shall benefit. The tea farmers, the first grade, it will be consumed in Kenya and not abroad.
Yes.
That would be our prayers.
Elizabeth, do you agree or disagree with him?
No, I don't agree. He has just said that the opposition leaders are taking advantage of Gen Z.
Yes.
And I totally don't agree with that. Because I think he has used this thing, Ruto must go. You know, that is what everyone is talking about. It is what everyone is talking about. Yes. So they have to use that thing to the people so that wafanye waone wote wakiwa pamoja. They have to use that thing so that waonekane all of them they are together. And the second thing is that you also said that something about Kalonzo Musyoka. Yes, I want during this coalition, the coalition that has just been made, they are looking for votes. What this particular person is bringing on tables in terms of vote, and what this other person is bringing on tables. So Kalonzo, we all know Kalonzo Musyoka very well, and he has a lot of influence. I think he comes from Machakos. So
let's say
you should know. Yes. So all the votes there, he carries all the votes there. So when it comes to Wamonyoro, you are calling him Wamonyoro. Yes. I think he has gained popularity in Mount Kenya, and so he also carries most of the votes in Mount Kenya. So I think, and as much as they want to take Ruto home, they have this thing of how they will get these votes, because they need these votes to get together so that they can be able to take Ruto home. So I think this coalition, it's not all about taking advantage of each other.
Yes.
They have to be together because as you have said, their main aim is to take Ruto back home, and so they need to take him home so that they can start transforming the country. How can they transform the country when there?
Amos.
Yes.
I want to clarify here. The moment Gen Z said Ruto must go home, all the opposition leaders backed them up. They showed support. Instead of telling those youths, can you come and strategize on how we will come up with a better country? Instead of telling Gen Zs you should fight for your rights. You know, most of Gen Zs, we lost our lives during the demonstration. And these leaders who are opposition, they never affected in now. Because you must tell me Gen Zs just go to street, go fight for your right. But you are sending to a daughter back at home. They are not in the madamano, so called. But if you checked yesterday, there is that one person who hit the president.
Yes, in Migori County.
And the leaders, the opposition leaders are very happy. And even they are posting in their social media, there is this picture trending of Ashu.
Yes.
And a good example, we have Kate Guru. She posted in her page, which shows they are happy with what Gen Zs are doing to the president.
So, are you trying to say opposition celebrates when their views are misguided? Because whatever was done yesterday was a criminal activity. Are you supporting that? That's what you're trying to say?
You know, I'm simply saying the government and the opposition is taking advantage and they are misusing the Gen Z.
So they are not ready to liberate the country, they are just using the Ruto must go as a hook?
They are not ready to liberate the country. And I will tell you this.
If they are not ready, the government is not ready to liberate Kenyans. The opposition is not ready to liberate Kenyans. Who is there to liberate Kenyans? And if you already have just stated that the youths are not ready also. They are just being used as voting machines.
Now, it's time for youth now to stand in their grounds and stop following other leaders, what they tell. Let these youth say, now, you leaders, we need you to come. Let's sit down. Let's have a strategic meeting. This is what we want to do and do. We will support you 100%.
Elizabeth, do you think they will speak the same voice?
No, they can't.
You know the old generation and the youth, they have a different voice. Do you think they will implement? Or will we just end up with a lot of division and hatred?
But we say better try.
Elizabeth, better try?
Yes, we can try, but you know the support system matters a lot in politics. And I think, as I said earlier, that is what we are lacking the most in this country.
Okay.
We are lacking support system because we must have support. For example, you can't wake up in the morning and say, you know, I will try for presidential election. Atakama the population in the Kenyan population
Yes.
concerning youth, it's about 75 or 80%. You know, most of the youth will not vote for you because they don't believe in you. So we need that support system from these leaders so that we can able to now come up and say that we can now do this and we can now become presidents and so on.
Wow. As we wind up, let's talk about the Mount Kenya politics. It seems there is a euphoria, a munyoro of euphoria, where everyone seems to, for you to make it, maybe to be noticed that you'll be in a ballot 27, you must visit to Munyoro. And it seems that there is a polarization of political parties in Mount Kenya, where every influential leader has a political party. Do you think we need to the kill of democracy, to kill democracy in the region? Because Wamunyoro has one political party. Recently we had Dede Nyoro, although rumors has it he has a political party. Irongo Nyakera has Farmers Party. Mwangi Kiujuri has the TSP party. Justin Muturi has a Democratic Party. Mwangi Weria has Usawa Party. Riki Nyajui has a Ubuntu Party. Derito Moreri has PNU with Munya. Do you think that we need polarization of the region and bring the marginalization of the community because they will divide the votes?
Yes, I think that can happen. And in Mount Kenya, we really need to wake up. We really need that one leader who can unite Mount Kenya regions.
Yes.
Because I think if now we start talking about parties and whatever,
Yes.
we will automatically divide these votes, and that will cause giving Ruto a chance
Yes.
to win in the next general election.
Yes.
So I think the best thing that we can do is to come up together, you know, have that one leader who can unite Mount Kenya regions.
Yes.
And tell and show them the way. You know, if for example, they can also use these things which the President William Ruto used of making all those parties come together, forming a one coalition.
Yes.
It can also work for us.
Yes.
So I think what I'm actually telling Mount Kenya people is that they have to be together, because if they don't, they will divide this vote, and once they divide this vote,
Sure.
this thing of Ruto must go will remain as a nightmare for them.
Yes.
He will still remain, and because of this division, so they should be together.
Okay.
And make one coalition if it is possible.
Yes.
So that they can actually, so that their votes can be all together.
Do you think Mount Kenya we need a strategy or a more registration of political parties as we wind up?
For me, I'll say strategy. We don't need more registration of parties. Because the moment we register more parties, it will, eventually, even if we get this seat, it will bring division later.
Okay.
Because in every party, you will have your own MP who is representing you.
Yes.
And in a coalition, you will be saying, me, I have my MPs, so I have command over them.
Yes.
If you tell them don't do this, they automatically will obey you.
Okay.
A good example is last year.
Okay.
In the coalition of Azimio, Lomoja.
Yes.
We have a lot of parties there. We have ODM, we have Wiper, and so on. We have the
DP party, that's Democratic Party.
Yeah, of one
Justin Muturi.
And this for Eugene Wamalwa.
Yes, that is DNPK.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you check at those, they brought division later.
Yes.
Because during this time of voting no to the finance bill.
Yes.
You remember what happened? Kalonzo Musyoka told this Wiper MPs, you should not vote for that.
Okay.
If you vote, you are going against the party rules.
Okay.
But the Azimio, Lomoja,
yes,
some voted yes.
Okay.
And they had agreed to vote no. Okay. And eventually, now Raila and Kalonzo are departed.
Okay.
And they had a coalition. For me, registration of parties should be restricted.
Okay.
We should not have more
parties. That should be a restriction of the democratic space, which Kenyans fought for.
But, the more we bring the constitution to be favoring everyone, the more we are bringing fight in the country. We are lighting fire.
Yes.
Let's restrict the registration of parties.
Do you think that should be a solution?
No, it is not.
Amos?
Yes.
Amos, assume every influential leader in Mount Kenya has his own party.
Yes.
And everyone has an MP from there.
But
let's say one.
It's their democratic right. Even if you want to register your political party, the constitution allows you.
But let them not register parties. Let's use the parties which are there. Or we rebrand them.
Maybe as a parting shot. Do you support that?
Yeah.
Because what Peter is advocating for is it's like we're trying to kill democracy. And you remember so many people killed fighting for the constitution.
Yeah.
Yes, so do you think that's right?
And
also remember, we have a democratic right where you can vie as an independent candidate. So even if you don't register a political party, you can vie as an independent.
Sure.
Would that be a solution?
No, I don't think that will be a solution.
Okay.
According to me, what I think is the parties that are there. It is a democratic right for everyone to have a party.
Yes.
You can wake up in the morning and say, I want to have a party.
Yes.
It is. You are right.
Yes.
But also I think that even if we have all these parties, these parties should come together as one and form one coalition.
Okay.
Which can be used.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying that this is my party, this is, we form one coalition that contain all those things, like what we did in 2022. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Maybe you are parting shot, Peter.
What I would just say
is
this is the right time.
Yes.
Is the youth to wake up, fight for what is right for us.
Yes.
But fight in a right way.
Wow. Elizabeth, your parting shot?
Yes, I will also tell people that, especially the youth, that they have to wake up. As what the former president told them, that this is the right time for them to work, for them to make it in terms of politics, and also to encourage Mount Kenya region to be united.
Okay.
We have to be united for us to be able to achieve this goal of, you know, in terms of politics and whatever,
Yes.
we need to be united
Sure.
as Murima, as one.
Yes.
Yes, that is all I have to say. Thank you.
Wow, thank you guys for joining us in our political discussion, and I do appreciate it. I hope next time when I invite you, you're glad to join us and so that we can expound more on the politics and help our people understand what has been happening. Karibuni sana, and I do appreciate. Thank you.